The previous part of the drone build, we opened up the frame and we took a look at it, and we also put on the antenna mount as well. In this part, we are going to be mounting our 4 motors. These are multi-star Viking motors. They've been out for about a year. They are 2206, meaning that if I open this sucker up, you can see we have some mounting hardware there, our locking nut for the propeller. Then over here we have the pretty motor. So like I said, this is a 2206 motor, meaning it's 22 millimeters wide and the stator is 6 millimeters high. So for drones like this, 2206 is a little big. Normally people would go for 2204 or 2205, but in my case I think I'm just going to want a lot of torque because I am going to be spinning some fairly chunky props with a lot of air resistance, so I want something that's going to be very, very strong. Now these were approximately $18 a piece, so they are quite expensive motors, which is one downside. They are 2600 kV, so a little bit higher. Normally they're about 2200 or 2300, but it should be really, really great. The stats on these motors so far look very excellent. You can see the nice green anodization on the side. So I already have the other 3 motors opened up. They feel like they have a fair amount of weight to them, but now I guess we're gonna mount these to all 4 corners of our frame. Now with each motor came the 4 mounting screws we'll be using, and as well as this locking nut. It has nylon on the end so that make sure it won't fall off. But for these other screws, because we're going to be putting it into metal on all 4 of these motors, with all the vibrations, there is a chance that the screws could fall out and the motor could fall out as well. So to be safe, I have some Loctite I'll be dabbing on all the screws before I put them in. And that's about how much you want coated on the end of the screw, just a little bit on one side. Alright, so now we have all 4 of our motors on, and for future reference, these are motors 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's going to be very important when we're hooking up our ESCs to our power distribution board and our flight controller. If we mess it up, it's going to switch the configuration of everything and mess it up. We want to keep that proper. And until then, the next part, we will be installing all 4 of our ESCs on the arms, throttling them up to our motors and the power distribution board. And for now, I might as well put these nylon locking nuts just snug on the motor shaft.